Ethan Carter, a reserved yet confident 16-year-old, stepped onto the plane clutching a small carry-on and his boarding pass. His father, Martin Carter, a devoted single parent, had booked him a business-class seat as a reward for his academic excellence. Dressed in a crisp polo shirt and freshly cleaned sneakers, Ethan exuded quiet pride. He settled into his seat, placing his bag beneath the one in front of him, and pulled out his favorite book, ready for a peaceful journey. The calm atmosphere in the cabin shifted when Mia Sanderson, a senior flight attendant with over 30 years of experience, entered. Mia was known for her sharp eye for detail, but also for her snap judgments. Her uniform was immaculate, but her demeanor often carried an edge that unnerved even seasoned travelers. As her gaze swept across the business-class cabin, it landed on Ethan. She hesitated, her expression morphing into one of subtle suspicion. Approaching Ethan briskly, Mia spoke in a tone laced with authority. "Excuse me, young man. May I see your boarding pass?" Ethan, slightly startled but polite, handed it over. "Of course," he replied calmly. Mia inspected the pass with pursed lips. "Business class," she muttered as though confirming it to herself. "Did you purchase this ticket?" Ethan nodded. "My dad did. He wanted me to be comfortable." Mia returned the pass, her expression neutral but her tone curt. "I see. Thank you." She turned and walked away, her stiff posture betraying her discomfort. Ethan returned to his book, attempting to shake off the interaction. His father's words rang in his mind. "Hold your ground, son. People will test you, but never let them define you." Moments later, Mia returned with a more rigid demeanor. "There seems to be an issue with your ticket," she said sharply. "Would you mind stepping into the galley with me?" Confused but compliant, Ethan followed her. In the galley, Mia folded her arms, her expression stern. "I'll be honest, this seat doesn't seem appropriate for you. I'm going to move you to economy." Ethan's jaw tightened, but he maintained his composure. "My ticket is valid. Why do I need to move?" Mia's voice grew colder. "Because I believe this seat was assigned in error. Economy is a better fit for you." Her implication was clear, but Ethan stood his ground. "If there's an issue with my ticket, I'd like to see proof. Otherwise, I'll stay in my seat." Mia's patience snapped. "You'll either move willingly or I'll involve security." After a moment of silence, Ethan nodded. "Fine," he said softly, masking his humiliation with calm. As he was led to the cramped economy section, he could feel the weight of the passengers' stares, but refused to let it crush his spirit. Seated in the middle row of economy, Ethan texted his father, "They moved me to economy without reason. Can you look into it?" Meanwhile, in business class, Mia resumed her duties with a sense of satisfaction, but her mood shifted when Mark Turner, the lead flight attendant, approached her. "Mia, I noticed you moved the young man from 2B, Mark said. "What was the issue?" Mia hesitated. "He didn't seem like he belonged there." "Did his ticket check out?" Mark asked, his tone sharp. "Yes, but," Mark interrupted. "Then why move him? We don't make decisions based on feelings." Before Mia could respond, the captain's voice crackled over the intercom. "Mia Sanderson, please report to the cockpit." In the cockpit, the captain handed her a phone. "Corporate office wants to speak with you," he said firmly. Mia took the receiver, her voice wavering. "This is Mia speaking." The voice on the other end was calm but stern. "Ms. Sanderson, we received a complaint about your handling of a passenger. This behavior is unacceptable. Upon landing, you'll be required to provide a detailed explanation." As the call ended, Mia's stomach churned. The captain's steely gaze added to her unease. "Fix this," he said bluntly. Back in economy, Ethan received a text from his father. "Don't worry, son. I'll handle it. Sit tight." As the plane descended, the captain summoned Mia again. "That young man you moved? He's Ethan Carter. His father is a key figure in our airline's legal department. Prepare for repercussions." When the plane landed, Ethan waited as other passengers disembarked. Approaching the exit, he met Mia's forced smile. "Thank you for flying with us," she said shakily. Ethan's gaze was steady. "You'll hear from my dad soon," he replied before leaving. Minutes later, security officers approached Mia. "Miss Sanderson, we need a word regarding your conduct during this flight," one said firmly. Outside, Ethan found his father waiting near the curb. "Are you okay?" Martin asked, placing a reassuring hand on Ethan's shoulder. "I'm fine," Ethan said, though the weariness in his eyes betrayed him. But what happened wasn't right. "I know," Martin said, his expression hardening, "and we won't let it go unnoticed." Days later, the airline released a statement acknowledging the incident and promising steps to ensure passengers were treated with dignity. But Ethan wasn't satisfied. With his father's help, he drafted a letter detailing his experience and proposing a mandatory training program for airline staff on empathy, unconscious bias, and customer service integrity. To his surprise, the board of directors not only read his letter, but invited him to share his story at an upcoming conference. Nervous but determined, Ethan stood before a room of executives and staff. "This isn't just about a seat on a plane," he concluded. "It's about recognizing the value in every person, no matter their appearance or background. When we treat others with respect, we create a world where everyone belongs." The audience erupted in applause. What began as a moment of humiliation had transformed into a movement for change. Ethan knew the journey wasn't over, but he was no longer alone in the fight. Together, he and his father had turned injustice into hope for the airline and everyone it served.